Hey everyone, Sterny here, and with me is Jakale,
Hello.
Arcanum,
Greetings.
and Anok.
Hello.
And when we last left off, we saw one of our poor peasant friends that we didn't really know about and doesn't really have a name, die due to the careless whims of the aristocracy. Down with the man and all that.
Down with the
and
man.
Also, another guy who was watching from the sidelines happened to have plot shit, or happened to realize he was relevant to it, and decided to fuck off. Much like that guy when he reappeared in. Now, 5 bodies later, there are 5 bodies in about 5 minutes and about 3 gems or some bullshit. Look, fuck that fight, okay? It's the worst. But the reason we come over here into this dead end is our first tarot card.
Doodle-doo.
Doodle-doo indeed. It's the Nexus. It's a
the
tower.
tower.
It looks kind of like a pinwheel flying on a pillar of fire and lightning. I think it looks sexy. Now, Tarot Talk, what can you tell us about the tower?
The tower is associated with sudden, disruptive, and potentially destructive change. Commonly interpreted as meaning danger, crisis, destruction, and liberation. Likely that some people, situations you have counted on being there for you may no longer be there.
Did this just describe, like, puberty or something? Whatever.
It's
I mean-
divination. Everything describes everything.
So basically it's like Freud saying everything is you want to bang your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Baller. Even better. Now, one fun thing to note is I did not break all of the barrels. I only broke 3. This took a lot of restraint because normally I like breaking all the barrels. But we'll see what happened to that later on by pure happenstance. Our little friend has gone through that door. Yeah, he
Apparently
really books it, man.
has a glowing little friend that follows him, or it's just a weird looking torch.
He's holding a torch. There are 3 fun bat friends in there. Fuck that fight. It... Look,
Sounds
it's
like
around
tells me
this
you do
time.
not like the Bat Friends.
All right, remember how I said in the last episode that there's a lot of fights and not much else going on? Like,
Yeah.
Solum, you don't have a lot of fights, but you have a shit ton of cutscenes. In Aetha, you start out with not so many cutscenes, but a shit ton of fights. There's your torch,
Really
and then
fast.
He's fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, man. He's gotta go fast.
Nice painting.
We're gonna take our moment to look at this.
It
Now,
looks like a
what is
regular
kind
person.
of fun, aside from the tarot card right here.
One more. Wow.
One more, yeah, we just front load that stuff. That little cutscene where he runs away gets triggered if you just go through the top or the bottom, regardless. So,
Alright, well, on our way down.
Oh no.
no.
Okay, swords. Correspond to the element of air, signify freedom, and also quick change. Sword suit is traditionally represented the military, which implies strength, power, and authority, also responsibility, violence, and suffering. Queen of Swords. Okay, here's the thing. For some reason, the wiki entries on all of the sword suits give them these weird little titles. The Queen of Swords is the Widow, or Necromancer. This card symbolizes independence at its best. Power, intelligence, tactical thinking, streamline a problem, find a solution without fuss. At worst, isolation, depression, and cruelty. Fun times
Sexy.
for everyone.
The Widow / Necromancer.
Yes.
There's someone hiding down there.
Other fun names that we will not get to because they're just the numbered cards. The 2 of Swords, the Choice. The 3, the Wound.
One
The
moment.
5 is the Traitor.
Do you think anyone is hiding anywhere?
Yeah.
You know what? It can't be on that tile that looks like it's completely new.
Now
Also, there
then,
was nothing in
back
the
to
treasure
your
chest.
fun names.
Yeah, there was nothing in that treasure chest. Oh, we're
No.
going for a drink.
Ooh, the 9 gets a fun one. Terror, the Nightmare.
You do realize you're basically just describing a bunch of wacky boss fights from Metal Gear, right?
Away from there.
Whoa,
I have no idea who named these things
I have
or
a
why.
We
Yeah.
saw exactly what
How
you
did
saw in
that
the square.
wine tap
We're here to
Then
help.
close that
open
trap door now,
a
fool.
giant stone tile door?
These people to be slaughtered.
Magic.
Don't question
Sorry for-
his mechanical
Going to
ingenuity.
help you out of this.
I think it's more interesting that the pillar both uplifted out of the depression, 90 degree, and this guy pushing into a corner, mind
It's a
you,
styrofoam
is
filler.
We're sorry.
able to get it
Screw
through.
here was just trying to.
What
Just
right
wacky shit.
to talk
It's
to
sturdy, but it's light.
I will not speak with a
Sturdy, but
corruption.
what is this? Like, it's
Rude,
water
man.
one day,
You're not
air
a
another.
corruption.
And this is their good guy.
You will talk to me, sir, and you will talk to my friend. You're in no position to turn away allies.
I like how
Believe
Scree is
me.
manning
You
up here.
expect me to welcome strangers? Her kind
Into my revolution.
is upon us.
Listen, I need you to tell me what these sacrifices are all about.
Blood. Count Raum has been gifted with a dark science. He draws blood from my kinsmen to boost his own vitality. When the bell tolls, they take a sacrifice from our village, and they drink his blood.
Vampires.
And so we
Oh, we put a brazier on our head and make sexy lady appear. Ah!
Haunted by the loss of our people, by the approaching toll of the bell. Even haunted by the one aristocrat who tried to help us.
I don't understand.
A duke, opposed to the Count's godless ways, plotted secretly to help us. But he was finally unmasked and hanged. His bones forbidden our burial rites. The Count
And now he's a
has turned his
spooky
enemy
ghost.
into...
Wow, yeah, it really just said that. Way to go.
He did say haunt, I just sort of
I
assumed.
must prepare for
There's
battle.
only
Yeah.
so many ways one haunts.
But I will never again ask one of my
Passive-aggressively?
brethren to step forward. The next blood shed.
Through unfortunate indecision.
If we can help it, the last
I don't know.
sacrifice has already happened.
I shall haunt you by requiring the line at the McDonald's to be really annoyingly long.
The Count's mansion. You must do nothing until we return.
You stay here, we'll go fix the problem.
It's not like he has nothing to do. There's giant barrels of what we presume to be shitty wine everywhere. And bottles literally just scattered everywhere. So, So-
Yes, the mountain grape fields.
Now, the thing that bugs me about this map is it's like this whole T configuration where the village square is right there. So, in theory, you would go back to the village square and then cross over to the area, right?
Right?
In theory.
No. No. No, because there's a broken bridge, you see.
Ah.
So we have to go through the manor cellar, down into this other cellar. Oh, wait, what's that? Ah, yeah, barrels. Fuck barrels.
With
Okay.
nothing.
So we go
And we go
revisit those other
curiously
barrels.
through this weird hallway to nothing else but the bottom of this bridge. To jump in. And then go up the stairs.
Well, it's not like the floating aristocrats need to carry much about road repair.
True.
Fair, but you know.
Although their walking guard might.
Yeah.
You ever get the feeling you're being watched?
All the time.
It's not us.
Can't be us.
Nope, sounds like the ghost.
But he speaks in generic color.
Whispering to us.
So far I haven't
Right
heard any
around
actual
our
words. If it weren't for the subtitles, I'd just think he was kind of breathing.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part about this entire thing is I feel Jen hasn't been reading my video titles.
Tornado of sparkles. Tornado of
Like-
sparkles.
Jen is in
It
no
reminds
room
me
to
of
talk
something, but I'm
here.
not sure what.
It says, lay me to rest.
How do
No,
you
it
know?
says praise the sun. I think it says praise the sun.
I just see
Keep going.
sparkles. I
That's
see
fine.
no
I think it
letters.
says jump
You know,
here.
there's some like carving on the ground.
Oh.
Okay.
It's this weird kind of MS Paint version of their demonic tongue that they've got. In a little bit, we're going to see another example of it. Like, at least one more, I
But
believe.
still on the ground there, and you could have turned around and looked at it.
It is, but I was too busy going into the cemetery.
I like how
to
before
be
the
fucked to
cutscene
do
you were
that.
transformed, during the cutscene you weren't, and after the cutscene you were transformed again.
I feel that the reason they do that is probably still due to the wonderful. Come on, Scree! Come on!
It's like, yeah, that's a nice looking precursor orb you got there.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, Jack. We need to get the precursor orbs. Now, so what I feel is probably due to, again, like it's the PS2 technical limitations and whatnot. They just stuck to what they do for effect was going to just be the neutral value. That's also to show you, by the way. There's a spirit orb or thingy there.
Rest in peace.
And there's some text on the guys. I can't read them. But yeah, the PS2, I figured that, hey, Jen is always going to be Jen, so why not just let her be that?
Meanwhile,
It's-
Duke Sparkly Whirlwind.
Duke Sparkly Whirlwind. Or we should also call him the Soul NATO, I guess. If we
Yeah,
want to
that
roll
would
that
work.
way.
Yeah.
My sword, the power you need.
See?
Stay away
Can you
from
read
the
that?
chateau until I am
No,
in
not at all.
peace.
It seems to be rendering weirdly.
To lay
You
his
go to the
spirit
chateau
properly to
before
rest,
I'm at
his
peace.
bones
Boy,
must be
howdy,
buried
things are
along
gonna
with
go
his weapon.
down.
Valera. Realm's captain's got the sword now. And the way my vambrace glowed when she came near. We need that sword to give me the Wraith mojo. It's the only way I'll be of any use here.
But it doesn't have Wraith
Remember who we're
Mojo. It's
dealing
just a
with.
WoW
None
sword
of
that's
the
been
Wraith
enchanted
are
with
to be
life
trusted.
stealing.
Do we have to steal the Queen's hairpins?
But perhaps
Sure.
this gentleman should be given the benefit of
Sure.
the doubt. I think
Yeah, that's
we ought
what we need to
give
do.
the
That
Duke here
that was
a
what
proper
glowed
burial.
purple. Yeah, that was what glowed purple in the last end of cutscene video thing. Yep, totally that. Not the soldier named Captain Valera with the
Alright.
glowing purple sword.
Yeah, that one.
Speaking of which, bit presumptuous. Just a bit.
2003. What did it say?
2003.
All I just saw is Rest in Peace 2003.
Rest in peace, Laura Croft. 2003.
That's cute.
Now, just right over here is this interesting little tunnel shed that we're not going to go down. We're instead going to look at the gibbet, because going down that little area is to leave the village. So you're not going to go that way until you have the Wraith form. Instead, what you need to do is turn Fair Eye and come on and slam and welcome to the jam.
Too high
For
for
a
me
second,
to
I
jump.
thought you were gonna try to pick up the building.
Green
Oh
rolled
my god,
jump.
that would be amazing. It's like,
Like,
now
Well, we already
here,
green. We are already green.
yeah. Now, of course, here we need to retrieve the Duke's bones in what I am going to call the rib cage.
Lower it down gently.
that sounds like a comedic setup.
Can't
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, because it's a cage where
Stand
the ribs are
clear. I'm
stored.
gonna cut it down now.
I admit it's a little bit less funny now that I have to
Don't
explain
come
it,
down
but
now.
yes.
Just lower it gently after 3. 1.
Scree. Sorry.
That's 2 and 3.
Sorry.
fine.
And then she teleports straight down.
Said lower it gently after 3.
And I said stand clear. Anyway, no harm.
You've chipped my ear off. I can't believe it.
Scree's first
You've
wound.
chipped my left ear
No, it
off.
isn't. Wait, no, there it is.
Oh dear.
I've been vandalized.
Dear.
It's not funny. It's an ear.
I know. Can't you still hear okay?
I guess I'll keep,
Oh dear.
keep
I
recording.
said can.
Yes, I heard you.
Sorry.
Because you lose an ear doesn't make you deaf.
I said sorry.
We don't know how it works with statues.
True.
It's a whole ear!
It was an accident!
And yet, on
Glue
the
it
one
back on.
side, it's just the tip.
What she said.
I'll keep hold of this. We may be able to stick it back on.
I look ridiculous. There isn't much of me to begin with. A whole ear!
And now Spree's back to comic relief.
Hmm.
I like to think that this is
That's
about
what he
5
calls
years
it.
into their marriage. This kind of wacky shit. At least there's less bullshit cloak and dagger hiding crap, because that kind of got out in the open last time.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, Scree, as someone who can only hear from one ear, I speak from experience, you're not really missing much. On one hand, all earbuds that you purchase from now on are a 2-for-1 deal. A salesman can never actually convince you to buy surround sound stereo, because it does fuck all. And hey,
We just dropped
is
a
it
minute,
loud
I
and
think.
you need to go to sleep?
No.
Turn your head. All
I'm
done.
going to lower him in.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he'll never be able to tell if something is in stereo or mono.
He's not gonna let this gently thing go.
Fine.
Why don't they just open the
So
cage?
now we need a sword to go in there too.
We do. But wraith burials also require blessed water.
Okay. Perhaps old Pugface can help us with that.
Oh, yes, the gentleman in the cellar.
That's his name, Pugface?
Old
It is
Anyways,
now.
to answer your skeleton question, I imagine they wanted to make sure he had his daily dose of iron.
Well, he'll have
Yeah.
a few years worth of daily dose of iron now.
Yeah, well, it's front-loaded. Sort of like hibernation. Come on,
Not that I'm
guys.
complaining, but does Duke Sparkle Storm actually do anything, or does he just kind of fly around and phase through stuff?
He does fuck all. He does
Okay.
that.
Like, he doesn't hurt enemies, he doesn't hurt
No.
you,
Not a bit.
he's just scenery.
Yep.
Alright.
Now, these guys are kind of annoying just for the purpose of, they hit you, like, all the time. Well, not that one. He's the special one. But, the idea being that, enemies can hit you if you're not just targeted on them. Evidently, I was incorrect in that first video or whatever. So they like to blindside you, and the lock-on camera is shit, and ironically, that's the only way you can fight them is the lock-on camera, so, hey. Now this guy, because he bugged out, we get to just watch him die. That is what I have chosen. Yes. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can hit us hard, right? Or not get counterattacked a bunch.
A merciful death.
A merciful death indeed. Seriously, these underlings, they suck. I'm glad to be rid of them.
So the tornado's going around in circles. What's going? Oh, I guess that doesn't matter.
It does not. He really just rolls around and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, watch
Hello?
carefully,
It's only
Pugface.
us. We need your help.
I have to do my
Love
duty.
how his hair wiggled like that.
Offer myself for sacrifice.
Hey, good plan.
Jan.
No, we won't let them guzzle your blood. See, if you're there as bait for Rom's captain, we'll be hiding. Take her by surprise. We need to get the Phantom's sword back. It's the only way I'll be able to defeat Rom and have a chance at saving your people.
But
Also,
first,
blessed
we've
water.
got to
Do
give
you
the
know
Duke a
any
proper
weird
burial. I
clerics
believe we'll
with
need blessed
feet
water for
issues?
that.
I see. As we've no other hope, I shall cooperate. I'll sanctify the water, and then place myself for sacrifice.
Right, it's not
We'll
like
go
you're,
to the well.
you weren't really doing much else. You only had one of those steps you were planning for anyways.
He's
The other
very
one is just an
understanding.
addition. So,
He has a sword.
He has a sword.
Is he a combat friend?
He's a combat friend,
Yeah.
but kind of shit.
Ooh,
Remember
I get to
that
see
barrels, by the way?
Yeah.
Ah, strategic.
That
Was
was
there anything-
purely accidental. I was like, I don't feel like breaking all the barrels today. And it turned out in my favor. I suppose I am the Zhuge Liang of this video game. Master strategist indeed. So,
Right.
what we're aiming for is that well from, like, I believe the first town square that you meet. And that's, oh yes, combat friend. Fucking combat friends. Let's take a look at how that works out, huh?
Oh, there he is. I was like, I don't see him fighting what you were fighting.
You-
He is
Respect.
taking on that railing for the better of you.
It's at this point that I have dubbed Pugface as Waluigi. Because if you listen carefully, he does this little sound where he goes, wah! When he throws out his sword. So I'm basically thinking that at this point in the game, here we are, rolling around with all this weird vampire French crap, and we've got Waluigi as our buddy, who instead of actually benefiting, I love that jump, instead of benefiting combat in any remotely useful way, decides to wave his sword around as our goddamned cheerleader.
No, he's hitting now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's occasionally drawing aggro.
Occasionally. Occasionally.
Runs right through the blood cloud.
Yep, he gives no shits. Does he know that we have to roll around and pick the bodies for souls to heal up? No. He doesn't care about that. He is one of those bodies that his aristocrats, ironically, are supposed to pick him apart for souls, now that I think about it. Huh.
Yeah.
To be fair,
for
he didn't
souls,
give
for
us
blood.
much fuss on the whole, we need you to act as a pretend sacrifice and sacrament some water.
Fair point.
Compared to other people we run into, he's being darn right helpful.
Now, if you'll notice, the music isn't here in a fight scene.
Yeah.
They also stopped fighting.
We've decided to fuck off for this fight.
you. Apparently not.
We've decided to
entirely.
fuck
There we
off
go.
twice,
Okay, there we
actually.
go.
Because that was a consistent bug. I'm not trying to find these on purpose, guys. Believe me. They just
Sure.
keep happening.
Meanwhile, at the old well,
Kehidut kalari, vol eos actuana naldi. Vit biagit vit umov von sanchureur di dödi heide napuni, oto odmok judo.
You need a username called
water with
Bless
the
the
judo
one.
completely broken. If someone were able to climb down there, this is all we would need feel.
Why does he have an
so
empty
look, we're in
drinking
our fair
flask?
coin.
Small.
Yay.
Right, I'm going.
Fine, I'll climb down the way.
Don't ask why he's lopsided, by the
How
way.
far down is the water?
Oh, it's a long way down. A long.
Keep this line in mind.
Naturally.
It's evidently a long way down. Let's see how
Going
long
to
way
climb
down it.
in, and then
Weird holding
Snake Eater
animation
will
for the
start,
thing.
And it will be
How is
several
he
minutes.
holding
Oh,
that
it's about
thing?
50 feet down. That's not a long way down, like at all. I mean, I can
Well,
get
it'll
an ex-
certainly be longer, yeah.
Apparently it's a
Now-
long, long way down.
I really like the water effects that were right here, because when I crawl down and you see that archway, you're thinking, oh shit, this is really deep, and it's like, no, it's just reflecting the ceiling. It's like, oh, that's really cool.
So even if the bucket was working,
It wouldn't have-
still
it would have
work
done
because
fuck
the
all.
water level isn't high enough.
Despite, ironically, all the rain, and...
I thought you
Wait,
realized
are
you
those
were in a
rain
hurry.
particles from the shed?
We must return
Huh.
to the village square.
Maybe it's leaky.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
with all their people getting, well, killed for their noble's vitality.
Alright, so I didn't cut all of this fight because I wanted to show again our friend and his usefulness. in this fight. Moonwalking his ass back. Occasionally doing his cheerleading bullshit, then fucking off all the way over there. Cheering us again. With his
Occasionally try
waz.
aggro.
So fierce.
How is this man not my Waluigi? Seriously.
Yep.
Also, these
have to
guys
take that
decided
fight
to, yeah, they decided to fight us now. Come on.
Regenerated all their hair. Oh no, they haven't.
Oh, look.
There's some music.
Successful combat. One down, one to go. How will we fight this one? Hitting it. Oh, great. He's helping. Way to go, Waluigi. Way to go. French Luigi?
The music stopped
I mean,
again.
this is not French. I should state, by
You
the
don't
way,
get, like an auto kill from behind.
it's bugged out again.
Music stopped. Look, let's go.
Yep. Everyone has decided to leave. We shall leave. So, all of those were fights. All of them. Notice how I've cut out a good number. Oh boy, you're looking at a good, what, 15, 20 minutes of just hitting things over and over again? Yeah,
As is tradition.
yeah.
Oh no, block saving.
Oh yeah.
no. How dare they not let us save?
Actually, they do let you save because it's a boss fight.
But they just said there's no saving.
Not
Wait, what?
tight, I hope.
With what I am to face, this is insignificant.
I told you you're not going anywhere. You're just luring them in for our attack. Don't worry about it. Trust us.
No.
At this point, I should probably
better
mention
withdraw.
that the voice actress for Jen here
sandpaper.
used to work on a TV show called Xena, Warrior Princess. That does not come up whatsoever, just a fun tidbit.
We saw the bonus video.
Oh, excellent. You did. Well,
did.
maybe some people didn't.
Alright.
As
Nice
well
heel.
as 3 being someone from Babylon 5, I believe?
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Well, we know she's bad. She speaks in red.
Jeep roast?
Hold it, Xena.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, that's not a reference to anything.
Man,
Not a bit.
don't you people have dentists.
Well, now I know why you suddenly brought it up.
Yep.
Now
Can't think of
that's
why I would do that.
so-
Man, I hope she does the Xena yell.
No.
I like how
no,
during
she
the
doesn't.
cutscene, her arms and eyes started glowing purple.
Yeah.
Just because
So-
the sword got close enough.
Welcome to Valera. She has a sword, and she has spiky elbows, which she will hit you with. She actually has a very large range of movement. It isn't too bad. I consider them more like actual duels instead of the other weird stuff that we've been doing in previous mono-e-mono
Crap fight.
fights.
Can she whip you with her hair?
No.
Let's hope
She is
does
not
whip
Willow
her hair back
Smith.
and forth.
Oh, I see we both went for the same thing.
Well, it's because we both knew the reference.
Now,
I wasn't referencing it.
for this particular person, I do believe there is a counterattack tell. It is when her sword is vertically, her hand is up, she points it down, and then she counters, which also, by the way, is counterattackable. So there is a football touchdown stance to double counter.
Yay!
All is fine.
Now, is this the only
As soon
fight
as we
of her,
kill her.
or is there multiple?
So as befits a proper French noble person, she fences.
It's the only fight of her, yes. That is the only time we fight her because we just did the execution move, and that's unfortunately
Yeah,
placed.
she's
Should've
dead
just
now.
given me this, honey. Would have saved you a lot of trouble.
Only a Lifestealer enchantment.
Oh no, dude.
Oh,
Hey, look,
Oh,
it's a
look.
bunch of guards that look vaguely like
I promised the
Valera.
miserable creep I wouldn't let them hurt him.
You fought well, Jen. I should have been more alert. Anyway, it's happened. So I suggest
Someone
we get
should have
on
been
with the
paying
barrier.
attention
Now
to
we
the
have
guy.
sword. You need the Wraith aspect, and we may even defeat Raum before our friend is sacrificed.
You know, the Wraith
Try
aspect
and
is
save
in the
him, huh?
sword. Why isn't it just heading to her?
At least a corruption like me can do.
Maybe it's something the Duke needs to do.
Plot contrivance, I'm going to say. Now, as to our fun friend, I imagine he's now in the castle to figure out what's going on in there.
You're not gonna let that go, are you?
No, he isn't.
You only had to watch those fights, and those were cut for time. I had to do them. Some shit you just don't let go, you know?
Drop.
Just like Scree in his ear.
Scree, uncork
Thank
that
you.
bottle first. Uncork the bottle first.
We don't have enough polygons for that level of emotion, I'm afraid.
You can at least animate it. You run out of rainwater.
Yeah! Unholy foam shifting from beyond the grave.
Great, now Scree isn't the only one who can give us demon energy.
Well, he never was. The first one to do it was Jared, or the king,
Yeah.
whoever the king was, Herod.
King Herod. Herod. No, he's not a bird.
Herd.
Herd, yes.
Jen seems to appreciate this form a bit.
Oh, now I can see the Lord Croft. Yeah, take
A
that.
little respect, please.
Hey, Rocky. Tie me from a standing start.
Come on! We haven't got time for this. Only use the Wraith form in emergencies. Really doesn't bring out the best in you.